Connor Dunlop, a product of the Creve Coeur Ice Hockey Organization, one of the first kids to play in 2 consecutive Pee Wee Quebec International tournaments. Dunlop would eventually play for his dad, former NHLer Blake Dunlop, playing a year up with the 1980 St. Louis AAA Blues. As a 15-year-old, he joined the St. Louis Sting, a one-time North American Hockey League team, putting up 13 points in 15 games as he joined the team for the last couple of games of the season. After the 96-97 season, he'd go on to play for the inaugural USA Hockey National Team Development Program in Ann Arbor, Michigan. As team captain, he'd help the team capture gold at the Five Nations tournament in Prague, Czech Republic. He'd also captained the team the following season, putting up 49 points and 53 points in the USHL. In 2 seasons with the US program, Dunlop would play in 157 games, which still ranks 4th all-time in NTDP history. Dunlop would become the first ever St. Louis kid to compete in the World Junior Championships, where he'd play in both the 2000 and 2001 tournaments. And we were just talking how many kids now from St. Louis who have gone on to play in that prestigious tournament. He was named captain for Team USA in 2001 when the tournament was held in Moscow, Russia. Following his stint at the NTDP, Dunlop would attend the University of Notre Dame, amassing 111 points over his collegiate career, serving as team captain for the Fighting Irish in both his junior and senior seasons. His junior season, he totaled 45 points in 38 games, good for 2nd overall in scoring in the CCHA conference. He'd go on to participate in NHL training camp with the St. Louis Blues before playing professionally overseas. Dunlop now works in the financial world, although his biggest accomplishment may be coaching the 2016 Hockey Club of St. Louis, where his son Bo is here. Got some people. But truly a trailblazer in St. Louis hockey and truly one of the best players to ever come out of St. Louis. Please welcome Connor Dunlop.
Good evening. I want to thank the Hockey Hall of Fame Committee for recognizing me with this great honor. I'd also like to congratulate all my inductees here on stage as well. It's a little ironic I'm following Scotty Backel up here tonight, given I've known him for about 3 decades. We had the honor of watching our boys play in the Spring Toronto Hockey Hall of Fame tournament with a number of other St. Louis kids, which is an awesome thing to see is where hockey's going here in St. Louis. When I was given my letter here at Christmas notifying of my induction, the first thing my oldest son Bo asked me if he was going to be invited to the ceremony in Toronto. Unfortunately, I had to break it to him that while I have a pretty good resume, I'm not getting into the Hockey Hall of Fame there. So Bobo, you're going to have to settle for a night out here in St. Charles in August, and the Hall of Fame in Toronto is going to be something you can shoot for. I want to make sure tonight is about the recognition of all the people who've had a major role in my success along the way to help me achieve my individual accomplishments. It takes great sacrifice, teammates, coaches, friends, and most importantly, family, to do special things as an individual. I've been beyond fortunate to have some of the best people in my corner throughout my hockey days. I want to thank my coaches from my early days at Creve Coeur, George Short, Blake Dunlop, Neil Komodowski Sr., Mike Murphy, teammates Neil Komodowski and Pierre Labarge. My 2 memorable years playing Pee Wee Quebec with John Wensink and Bud Steggy, those are some of my best memories. Thank you to my AAA coaches, Mike Murphy, Blake Dunlop, Rob Ramage, teammates Dan Hauk, Chris Peterson, Eric Ortlip, Matt Crosby, Ben Lamperti, Steve Short, and many others. My short but memorable time with Chaminade, Mark Finke and Fritz Clifford, thank you both very much. I came full circle with John Wensink once again to play for the St. Louis Sting, and I want to thank my fellow St. Louisans here, I think tonight, Andy Croak, Tom Kyman, John Gilbert, and Justin Steer for keeping me alive as a 15-year-old in junior hockey in the 1990s. I'd also like to thank Jeff Jackson, Bob Mancini, Greg Cronin, and Scott Monahan of the U.S. National Program. My 2 years there were probably my most formative as a player and as a person. My teammates Freddie Meyer, Andy Hilbert, John Michael Lyles, Ricky DiPietro, Brett Henning, John Wroblewski, great teammates that I love forever. I'd like to thank my billet family, who could not be here tonight, Pat and Jay Chapman, along with their son Kevin Bush. They took me in and treated me like family and made my moving away at 16 a very memorable experience. For my time at University of Notre Dame, I want to thank Andy Slaggert and John Micheletto, my former teammates and St. Louis Hall of Famers Neil Komodowski and Jan Stasny, as well as Aaron Gill, Evan Nielsen, Brad Wanchaluk, and Brett Lebda. I'd also like to formally recognize the entirety of the St. Louis Blues and St. Louis Blues organizations for their constant involvement in youth hockey for the last 30 years. As everyone in this room knows, they give so much to what youth hockey is and the progress of what goes on here. The ascent of hockey is 100% correlated to their knowledge. Rick Zombo, Rob Ramage, Peter Stasny, Perry Turnbull, Al McInnes, Basil McRae, Jeff Brown, Jamal Mayers, Barrett Jackman, and so many others. Without their selfless give back to youth hockey, there's no way St. Louis is where it is today. To my family down here, I'd like to thank my father Blake, mother Nora, sister Sasha and Tori, my brother Cole. You've all sacrificed so much to give me the time to pursue my passion in a way that was not always fair to your own pursuits. There's no chance I'm speaking up here today without your love and support. When I jumped to AAA, you all supported Dad and I being gone about 3 weekends a month, so I could pursue my individual passion. When I moved away at 16, you all endured a lot with a drastic change in family when Sash and I leaving at the same time, and I'm forever grateful for you guys as the best teammates I've ever had. To my mother, Nora, thank you for your love and support. I know you didn't want me to leave home at 16 to play for the national team, but I also knew there's no way in hell I wasn't going. You always made it work for everyone through the practices, the games, the carpools, the dinners, and the laundry, and that probably drove me insane. To my wife, Laura, who up until Saturday has never seen me actually play in an organized game. When our hockey club team played the Blues Warriors. It's been 20 years since I've actually played a full game, and I think this Hockey Hall of Fame might be viewed as the biggest hoax I've ever pulled after what I did last week. Last but certainly not least, I want to say my greatest thank you of all to my father, Blake, who's been my greatest role model, coach, and friend that I could have ever asked for. Thank you for introducing me to this game. Thank you for helping me learn the intricacies of hockey. And thank you for coaching my teammates in some of the worst practice times and rinks imaginable. Thank you for knowing when to push me. Hockey's always been a special bond between us, and the life lessons I've learned are why I am who I am today. St. Louis hockey's forever indebted to your selfless acts of being the first coach to take a team to Pee Wee, Quebec, to having the likes of Brian Burke with so many NHL minds come to town for the Blake Dunlop Advanced Hockey School. And for those of you who don't know that is, just find someone with a lot of gray in their beard and they'll probably tell you about it. Thank you for recognizing when our group of St. Louis players were ready to make the jump to AAA, and for bringing the St. Louis Sting here, junior hockey here to St. Louis. Anyone who's been inducted here in the last 16 years owes you a very big debt of gratitude, so thank you, Dad. The game of hockey is a special bond between all of us in this room. Whether it's the last stop as a player in high school, junior A, college, or 1,000 games in the NHL, the most magical part of the game is when you get to coach your kids and watch a 4 or 5-year-old discover the magic of a fresh sheet of ice and a small piece of vulcanized rubber. The bonds that they make with their teammates and the sheer joy that's on their faces is the best part of why we play this game, and it gets better with every generation. So to wrap up my remarks, I want to send a short message here to my 3 boys, Bo, Blake, and Drew, who are sitting down here and I think over there now. I'm not sure where they went, but I get to stand up here today in front of you all because I had a passion for hockey and I pursued it with every ounce of hard work and commitment that I had. While I did have some good genetics and God-given talent, my success is rooted in hard work and pursuing my passion. Whether you want to be the next Trevor Zegras or Jack Hughes, Messi in soccer, or Tony Hawk in skateboarding, don't be afraid to dream big and always remember to work hard and be humble in your achievements. Do your best to be a leader and strive to be a great teammate. Your work ethic and commitment to the passion will always beat talent, and nothing in life is worth anything without hard work. Dream big dreams, and know I'll always be behind you guys 100%. Thank you all again for this wonderful honor. Have a good night.